Hollywood's disappearing act is in full swing. One red carpet at a time, our favorite stars are shrinking faster than their movie budgets. Faces thinner, smiles tighter, and diets more mysterious than their Oscar speeches. Is it discipline? Is it science? Or just another Hollywood illusion dressed up as wellness? Tonight, we find out what's really hiding behind those jawlines. John Goodman, from icon to who's that guy? The vanishing act of a Hollywood giant. Once the lovable bear of Hollywood, John Goodman didn't just enter a room, he commandeered it. His laugh, thunderous. His presence, unmissable. But recently, when he stepped onto a red carpet looking like he'd been left in the dryer too long, fans collectively gasped. "Is that John Goodman or his stunt double on a juice cleanse?" one tweet joked. The internet, as usual, was unforgiving and wildly confused. This wasn't the chubby dad from Roseanne. This wasn't the whiskey and wisdom-soaked soul of the Big Lebowski. This was a man who looked like he fired his personal chef and hired a yoga instructor with a vendetta. Hollywood loves a transformation, unless it's too real. Word on Sunset Boulevard? Goodman didn't choose this glow down. Sources whisper about managers pushing image over essence. Because in Tinseltown, if you're not skinny, you're invisible. Even if you're John freaking Goodman. The bitter twist? Goodman's charm was realness. He made Dad Bod feel like a national treasure. Now, with his bones sharper than his punchlines, fans are less impressed and more alarmed. Friends mention hospital runs, burnout, and late-night interventions kept out of TMZ's glare. And so, the paradox. The man who made millions feel seen, now fading into the Photoshop of fame. What happened to loving stars for who they were? Maybe the real transformation needed isn't his. Katy Perry, from teenage dream to Hollywood ghost. What happened to pop's wildest star? Remember when Katy Perry was a living cartoon? Cupcake bras, neon hair, fireworks, literally. She didn't just perform, she detonated. You didn't watch Katy, you survived her. But lately, the confetti's settled, and what's left is, well, kind of a mystery. She showed up on a red carpet last month and, let's just say, jaws dropped, but not from awe. "That's Katy?" murmured one photographer. "Where's the sparkle? Where's the Katy?" Her face, once full of goofy charm and expressive chaos, now looked eerily frozen, polished, like someone tried to Photoshop her in real life and got stuck on the Titan tool. Insiders blame burnout, too many side hustles, or the latest Hollywood fad, optimal wellness, which often just means juice, yoga, and quietly vanishing under a pile of self-improvement. Others, more bluntly, hint at cosmetic overdrive. One makeup artist joked, "It takes 2 hours to make her look like she used to not try." Behind the glam, whispers grow louder, canceled rehearsals, tired eyes backstage, sudden breaks mid-performance. The Katy who once danced until dawn? Now she pauses between songs like someone fighting gravity. And through it all? Silence. No interviews, no cheeky clapbacks. Just pastel Instagram posts and a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Katy Perry used to be too much, and we loved her for it. Now she's just another victim of Hollywood's beauty blender, a star dimmed not by scandal but by the quiet pressure to fit in. And maybe that's the saddest fade out of all. James Corden's great disappearing act. Where did the real guy go? James Corden used to be Hollywood's cuddly court jester, self-deprecating, doughy, and refreshingly real. He made late night feel like your friend's basement, messy, funny, and slightly too loud. But then, poof. One day he re-emerged, looking like he'd been on a secret NASA body recomposition program. Jawline, chiseled, waistline, mysteriously MIA. The internet applauded, then raised one skeptical eyebrow. Just walking and eating better, he claimed. Cute. Except unless that walking involved time travel, fans weren't buying it. The transformation was too clean, too quick, too suspiciously Hollywood. Soon came the whispers. You know those whispers. the kind that rhyme with Zempic. Crew from his final Late Late Show season spilled tea. Corden wasn't just skinnier, he was tired, drained, like someone had hit the mute button on his once electric charm. He wasn't himself, said one source. It was like watching someone trying to remember how to be James Corden. Online sleuths dove deep, comparing old clips, dissecting facial angles, noting odd posting gaps and post-glow-up dead eyes. What started as a wellness journey now smelled suspiciously like a PR detox. And here's the kicker. Corden's brand was always authenticity. The funny fat guy who mocked Hollywood phoniness, now possibly becoming its latest filtered product. The punchline writes itself. Maybe he lost weight. Maybe he gained pressure. Either way, fans aren't mad he changed. They're wondering if he traded honesty for applause. In the end, James may have shed pounds, but did he lose the only thing we loved most? The guy who never pretended to be anything else. Lizzo, when body positivity meets Hollywood pressure. For years, Lizzo was the superhero pop culture didn't know it needed, unapologetic, loud, and gloriously confident in her own skin. She told the world to love their curves, to shake off the shame, and to live boldly. She wasn't just preaching body positivity, she was the movement. Then came the photos, a slimmer, sharper Lizzo, almost unrecognizable. The internet went silent for a second, then erupted. Wait, what happened to self-love? One fan wrote. Another simply posted, so body positivity was just a brand? Her transformation was fast, too fast. The woman who once said, "I'm my own standard of beauty," now looked like she'd joined the same Hollywood system she spent years criticizing. Insiders whisper it wasn't just personal choice. Record label pressures, image consultants, streaming numbers dropping. Suddenly, the unapologetic queen of self-acceptance was reportedly told that confidence looks better when it's a size smaller. Behind the fierce Instagram captions and empowering speeches, sources describe a very different Lizzo. Exhausted, anxious, torn between the message she built her empire on and the industry that profits from her image. Some insiders say she cried before photo shoots, others that she avoided mirrors altogether. And when the photos hit, the backlash was brutal. Fans accused her of betrayal, critics mocked her hypocrisy. But maybe they missed the point, that even the strongest voices can crack under the weight of Hollywood's perfection machine. In private, Lizzo allegedly confided to friends, "I feel like I lost myself trying to stay visible. It's a haunting truth. The woman who made millions love themselves may have forgotten how to love herself." Lizzo's story isn't about vanity. It's about survival in an industry that sells empowerment but rewards insecurity. Her transformation isn't a scandal. It's a tragedy wrapped in sequins. Because in Hollywood, even body positivity has a dress code. Mindy Kaling, from curves to controversy. For years, Mindy Kaling was Hollywood's breath of fresh air. Witty, brilliant, and proudly curvy in a sea of airbrushed perfection. She was the woman who joked about her flaws before anyone else could, turning self-deprecation into empowerment. Fans loved her because she was real. She wasn't trying to fit in. She was rewriting the rules. But lately, those rules seem to have changed. When Mindy stepped out looking dramatically slimmer, jaws dropped. The internet lit up with questions. Wait, is that Mindy? Her red carpet photos didn't just trend, they triggered a collective double-take. In interviews, she smiled coyly, crediting discipline and better habits. But the timeline told a different story. Too short, too sudden, too sharp. Even the most forgiving fans started doing math. The same woman who once said, "I run on pizza and deadlines," was suddenly preaching morning hikes and salads. Really, Mindy? Behind the curtain, insiders whisper that her transformation coincided a little too perfectly with a high-profile project, one known for strict beauty expectations. The timing wasn't just suspicious, it was cinematic. Some say her team coached her to keep quiet, to maintain the illusion of a natural glow-up. And it worked for a while, until fans noticed the change wasn't just physical, Gone was the carefree, self-loving comedian who made imperfection funny. In her place stood a polished, cautious star who spoke carefully, smiled strategically, and dodged the body talk she once owned so boldly. Critics call it hypocrisy. Supporters say it's evolution. Maybe it's both. Hollywood has a way of breaking even its loudest rebels until they whisper the same old lines about health and balance. Mindy's story isn't about vanity. It's about the price of belonging. She built her empire on being authentic, and now she's trapped in a system that rewards pretending. In the end, maybe the biggest transformation isn't her body. It's the silence. Rebel Wilson, the Year of Health exposed. When Rebel Wilson announced her year of health, fans cheered like it was a movie premiere. The hilarious Aussie actress, beloved for her confidence, wit, and refusal to play by Hollywood's rules, was about to take control of her life, or so we thought. She shared gym selfies, motivational quotes, and glossy posts about discipline and self-love. The internet applauded. Finally, a star proving that hard work, not shortcuts, could still win in Tinseltown. But as the pounds melted off faster than popcorn at a movie night, whispers began. Doctors, trainers, and eagle-eyed fans all noticed the same thing. This wasn't your average eat clean and workout transformation. Her face thinned dramatically. Her body changed in months, not years, and that so-called slow progress looked suspiciously like something out of a pharmaceutical ad. Behind the filters, sources say the truth was far less Instagram-worthy. Insiders claim Wilson was quietly using medical assistance to supercharge her results, a choice that might have stayed private if she hadn't built an entire brand around doing it the natural way. The revelation hit fans like a plot twist no one saw coming. Because Rebel didn't just share her journey, she sold it. Fitness partnerships, lifestyle advice, interviews about clean eating, all now under question. For fans who found inspiration in her words, it felt like betrayal. Even more troubling were the personality shifts. Friends allegedly described mood swings, exhaustion, and an obsession with appearance that didn't match the bubbly woman who once laughed at Hollywood's beauty standards. Somewhere between authentic and aesthetic, Rebel Wilson disappeared. Her year of health might have reshaped her body, but it also reshaped her image, and not for the better. What began as empowerment now feels like performance, another Hollywood illusion packaged as motivation. In the end, Rebel's biggest weight loss wasn't physical, it was the loss of trust. Because in Hollywood, even wellness can be just another role to play. Jonah Hill, trapped in a dangerous cycle. For years, Jonah Hill has been Hollywood's lovable underdog, the guy who could make you laugh until you cried, then turn around and deliver a performance that earned him an Oscar nod. But lately, it's not Jonah's jokes or movies making headlines, it's his body. Again, Hill's weight has been a topic of public obsession for more than a decade, something he never asked for but could never escape. One year, he's slim and sharp-suited on the red carpet. The next, he's fuller, softer, smiling through the noise. And each time the internet erupts like it's breaking news. But his latest transformation is different. Fans were stunned when Jonah appeared dramatically thinner. Hollow cheeks, tired eyes, the sparkle replaced with something heavier. He looks great, some said. He looks sick, others whispered. The truth, insiders suggest, may be somewhere in between, and much darker. According to friends, Jonah's journey has become a painful cycle. Gain, lose, repeat. Each comeback celebrated, each relapse dissected. Behind the scenes, the pressure to look a certain way has allegedly turned into obsession. He's never at peace, one source claimed. He either hates how he looks or hates what he has to do to change it. Medical experts warn this kind of rapid fluctuation isn't just bad for the body, it's brutal for the mind. But in an industry where appearance can make or break a career, Jonah's fight isn't just against the scale, It's against Hollywood's cruel mirror, the one that reflects worth in pounds, not talent. His once playful humor about his weight has faded. Now, his interviews are cautious, his social media curated to perfection. The guy who used to laugh at himself seems afraid to show himself at all. Jonah Hill's story isn't about vanity. It's about survival in a business that confuses change with improvement. Each new version of him isn't reinvention, it's recovery. And maybe that's the saddest part. Because for Jonah Hill, the biggest transformation he's still chasing might not be in his body, but in finally finding peace with it. Scott Disick, from Playboy to a shadow of himself. Once upon a time, Scott Disick was Hollywood's favorite troublemaker, the suave, sharp-tongued playboy of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He had the designer suits, the smirk, the champagne, and an ego to match. But lately, the man once known as Lord Disick looks like he's lost his crown, and maybe himself along with it. When Scott stepped out recently, fans were stunned. The tan was gone, the energy dimmed, and the man who once thrived under flashing lights now looked like he wanted to disappear from them. His face appeared hollow, his frame frail, a ghost of the party king who once ruled Calabasas. Whispers spread fast. Stress? Illness? Or maybe just Hollywood's latest wellness experiment gone wrong? Friends close to the Kardashian circle say the transformation was as rapid as it was worrying. The change happened in mere months, coinciding with increasing pressure to stay relevant amid the endless Kardashian empire machine. Behind the camera, insiders describe a darker picture. Gone are the wild parties, replaced by long, lonely nights and obsessive self-checking in the mirror. Makeup teams on set reportedly struggled to bring color back to his face for filming. Kourtney Kardashian, his longtime partner and mother of his children, is said to be deeply worried, not just about his health, but about what message this sends to their kids. The tragedy here isn't vanity, it's identity. For years, Scott's looks, charm, and bravado were his brand. But in chasing the image of eternal youth, he may have erased the very spark that made people love him. Now, the Lord of Luxury looks like a man haunted by his own reflection. Once the life of the party, he's become the silent warning behind it. Because in Hollywood, when the lights fade and the cameras stop flashing, all that's left is the truth. And sometimes the truth looks nothing like the image you built. Jessica Simpson, the price of perfection. There was a time when Jessica Simpson was America's sweetheart, the golden-haired pop princess with the southern charm, a megawatt smile, and a voice that could fill arenas. She was funny, relatable, and famously unfiltered. From reality TV to billion-dollar fashion lines, Jessica built an empire on being the girl next door who didn't pretend to be perfect. But now, that girl seems to have vanished. When Jessica appeared on social media recently, fans did a collective double-take. Her face looked tighter, her frame impossibly small. She looks great, some said. She doesn't look like herself, others whispered. Either way, the transformation was too extreme to ignore. Her official explanation? Hard work and discipline. But experts and fans weren't buying it. The timeline was too short, the change too drastic. And those mysteriously missing weeks on her Instagram, the ones that perfectly coincided with her most dramatic transformation, didn't help the rumors. Behind the glamorous posts, insiders paint a far less filtered story. Sources claim Jessica's routine had become obsessive, constant weigh-ins, restrictive diets, and mood swings that made her team nervous. She'd go from laughing to tears in seconds, one insider said. It was like she was at war with herself. For someone who built her brand on realness, this version of Jessica feels like a stranger, polished, posed, and painfully guarded. Fans who once loved her for her honesty now wonder if she's just another Hollywood casualty of perfection. The cruel irony. Jessica once told women everywhere to embrace their curves, to love themselves beyond the mirror. But in chasing the image of flawless beauty, she may have become trapped by the very pressures she once defied. Jessica Simpson's story isn't just about transformation. It's about the high cost of staying perfect in a world that profits from your flaws. Chelsea Handler, breaking Hollywood's code of silence. In a city where no one ever admits to aging, eating carbs, or having a little help, Chelsea Handler just dropped the Hollywood equivalent of a nuclear bomb. She told the truth. The comedian, known for her razor-sharp tongue and zero-filter attitude, admitted she had joined the same miracle weight loss trend sweeping through Tinseltown. And if you think that confession ended with a glamorous selfie and a motivational quote, think again. Handler described the side effects with the bluntness only she could deliver. I was basically poisoning myself for vanity. Nausea, exhaustion, and digestive chaos turned what should have been a glow-up into a full-blown meltdown. At one point, she joked that she spent more time hugging her toilet than hugging her friends. But what really shocked fans wasn't her honesty. It was how casually the drug was handed out. "My anti-aging doctor gave it to everyone," she said. "I didn't even know what I was taking until it was too late." Welcome to Hollywood, where the prescription pad has replaced the personal trainer and side effects are just a minor inconvenience between photo shoots. Even after quitting, Chelsea admitted the misery didn't magically vanish. The fatigue lingered. Her mood crashed. Her body felt foreign, like her metabolism had joined the writer's strike and refused to return to work. Her confession shattered the picture-perfect illusion of effortless celebrity discipline. Behind the flawless lighting and filtered posts lies a darker truth. The industry's obsession with staying thin isn't about health, it's about survival. Chelsea Handler, the woman once famous for making people laugh, has now made Hollywood squirm. Her story isn't about vanity, it's about vulnerability and the absurd lengths even the strongest women go to just to meet an impossible standard. In the end, Chelsea's brutal honesty may be the most rebellious act in a town built entirely on pretending. Sharon Osbourne, when weight loss went too far. If there's one woman in Hollywood who's never been afraid to speak her mind, it's Sharon Osbourne. Sharp-tongued, brutally honest, and gloriously unapologetic. She's built a career on saying what everyone else is too scared to. But when Sharon revealed her shocking weight loss, even her fans were left speechless. And not in a good way. Gone was the fiery redhead with the confident laugh and larger-than-life energy. In her place stood a frail figure with sunken cheeks and fragile movements. "I barely recognized her," one friend admitted. "She looked tired, not empowered." Sharon didn't hide the truth. She confessed she had joined the Hollywood weight loss craze, using a popular medication to slim down fast. At first, it felt like victory, a quick fix in a world that demands instant results. But soon, that miracle turned into misery. She described being constantly nauseous, too weak to eat, and so exhausted she could barely get through the day. "I went too far," she admitted. "I was sick, not slim." Her words sliced through the glossy lies of celebrity wellness like a knife. Even after quitting the medication, Sharon's struggle didn't end. She revealed lingering side effects, including trouble gaining healthy weight back and recurring stomach pain. It was the price of chasing perfection, a price she now warns others not to pay. But perhaps the most haunting part of her story isn't physical. It's psychological. Sharon admitted she became addicted to the transformation itself, to the feeling of control it gave her while everything else spiraled. "It was like watching myself disappear and not being able to stop it," she said. In an industry obsessed with shrinking women, their bodies, their voices, their power, Sharon's honesty stands as a rare act of rebellion. Her message is as raw as it gets: don't lose yourself trying to be smaller for anyone. Amy Schumer, when vanity collides with motherhood. Few stars in Hollywood have mastered the art of brutal honesty quite like Amy Schumer. For years, she's made audiences laugh by saying the quiet part out loud, about fame, about body image, about the absurd beauty standards that rule the industry. But even Amy, The woman who built her empire mocking Hollywood's obsession with perfection wasn't immune to its pull. When Amy revealed she had tried a trendy weight loss medication, fans were shocked and a little heartbroken. "I wanted to see what all the fuss was about," she admitted with her trademark sarcasm. But behind the humor was something far more human: regret. At first, it worked. The weight melted off and the headlines poured in. Amy looked slimmer, glowing, camera-ready. Yet privately, the transformation was anything but glamorous. She described endless nausea, extreme fatigue, and unpredictable mood swings that made her daily life miserable. The cruelest part? She was too sick to enjoy time with her young son. "I couldn't play with him," she confessed. "I'd lie on the floor, dizzy, thinking, 'What have I done?'" It wasn't vanity that broke her. It was realizing that in chasing society's idea of beauty, she was losing the moments that truly mattered. Unlike many in Hollywood, Amy didn't hide behind PR statements or diet myths. She told the truth. "My body hated it," she said simply. "I felt poisoned." Her honesty struck a nerve, because behind every filtered celebrity photo, there's often a silent battle no one talks about: the price paid for perfection. Amy's story isn't about shame, it's about perspective. In a world where women are told to shrink themselves, Amy Schumer did something revolutionary. She stopped. She chose motherhood over image, health over headlines, reality over illusion. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of authenticity, faces her biggest backlash. For decades, Oprah Winfrey has been the voice of truth in a town built on make-believe. She taught millions how to love themselves, how to heal, and how to rise above shame. To her fans, Oprah wasn't just a talk show host. She was a guide, a teacher, a friend who lived her struggles out loud so others didn't have to hide theirs. That's why her recent confession hit so hard. When Oprah admitted she'd turned to a popular weight loss medication, it felt like the earth tilted a little. The woman who built an empire preaching authenticity had, in the eyes of some, joined the very system she once challenged. "I wanted to be transparent," Oprah said calmly, but the internet didn't see calm. It saw contradiction. For years, she'd spoken about self-acceptance and body peace, about the emotional toll of chasing thinness. Now her choice looked like surrender. The backlash was swift. Some fans felt betrayed, others defended her humanity. After all, Oprah's spent a lifetime in front of cameras, every pound gained or lost analyzed like a headline. "Maybe she's just tired of the fight," one supporter tweeted. But critics weren't as forgiving. "If even Oprah can't love herself as she is," one comment read, "what chance do the rest of us have?" Behind the controversy lies a deeper truth. Oprah's voice carries enormous weight, not just metaphorically. Her decisions shape culture. Her words move millions. When she embraces something, it becomes a trend. And this time, the trend could be dangerous. Unlike most, Oprah can afford private doctors, constant monitoring, and safety nets. Her fans? Not so much. For them, the promise of easy transformation might come with real risks. Maybe that's the tragedy of being Oprah. The world expects perfection, even in honesty. Her admission wasn't a scandal, it was a mirror, a reflection of how even the strongest icons can stumble under the same pressures they've spent a lifetime helping others escape. Kourtney Kardashian, the wellness queen under fire. Among the Kardashian dynasty, Kourtney Kardashian was always the calm one, the minimalist queen of matcha, clean living, and organic everything. While her sisters flaunted luxury, surgery, and scandal, Kourtney built her empire on purity. Her brand Poosh promised balance, mindfulness, and wellness without compromise. She wasn't just selling beauty, she was selling a lifestyle. But lately, that lifestyle is under fire. When Kourtney stepped onto the red carpet looking slimmer than ever, her followers, millions of self-proclaimed wellness disciples, noticed instantly. Her face was sharper, her frame leaner, and her famous "I don't diet, I detox" philosophy suddenly seemed questionable. Officially, Kourtney credited her transformation to clean eating, yoga, and hydration. Unofficially, Hollywood insiders weren't buying it. Medical experts pointed out that her rapid change fit the pattern of pharmaceutical weight loss, not natural detoxing. The same Kourtney who preached balance may have secretly joined the same trend she publicly warned against. The irony was too rich for fans to ignore. The woman selling $70 collagen powders and wellness teas was allegedly taking shortcuts behind the scenes. Social media erupted with accusations of hypocrisy. One viral comment summed it up perfectly: "So Poosh stands for pretend organic, obviously shady health." Even her sisters, insiders claim, are worried, not about her size, about her brand. If Kourtney's authentic wellness image cracks, so does the credibility of the entire Kardashian empire's softer, more relatable side. And Kourtney's silence hasn't helped. Her carefully curated posts, flawless lighting, cryptic captions, perfectly angled selfies, only fuel speculation. Maybe she's guilty, maybe she's not. But in the court of public opinion, perception is reality. And for a woman who built her empire on transparency, her mystery has become her downfall. Kourtney Kardashian's story isn't just about appearance, it's about trust. Because in Hollywood, selling natural only works if you stay human enough to believe it. And lately, Kourtney looks a little too filtered for that.